Hey everybody, welcome to a new game recording. Obviously we are doing CSI, Three Dimensions of Murder. On the channel it'll just be in a playlist marked CSI. Let's just go ahead, we'll start a new... Wait, no, hold on. Wait, let's do it this way. Pictures at an execution. I'm just gonna start this one over. I tend to get profile names confused sometimes, so...
Welcome to Vegas, the city without clocks. In the casinos, anyway. Here at CSI, time is something we pay close attention to, because the early hours of a murder investigation are key. As our newest crime scene investigator, your credentials are strong, but the proof is in your performance.
Yeah, we've got a situation over... Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Catherine Willows, let me introduce you to our newest CSI. Now, what have you got?
The CSI
Art gallery owner
always,
by the strip with an unexpected exhibit on his showroom floor.
Pretty major
A dead
for
body.
my,
Possible homicide.
Thanks, Kath. Okay, I'm partnering you with Warwick
experiences.
Brown on this case. He'll help show you the ropes. But your own CSI skills are what we're counting on to crack this case. Catherine, I have lab work to get back to. Would you supervise this case?
You got it, Gil.
And you should head to that art gallery now. Oh, and remember, as G.K. Chesterton once said, the criminal is the creative artist, the detective only the critic.
I wonder when this one was made. Yeah, but these games were pretty huge when I was growing up. I played Dark Motives first, and then my mom picked up a whole lot of other ones for me. And yeah.
Hey, I'm CSI Warwick Brown. I'm glad to have some help on this one. We got a dead Vic on the floor, and a live gallery owner waiting on the sidelines. Are you ready? Good. Pay close attention. We're in the art world, and if you don't know how to look at something, you won't understand what it means. The Vic's face down. Spatter pattern on the wall close by indicates blunt force trauma. Take a photo of this. It's always good for future reference. You're going to need an angle that shows the Vic's position in relation to the spatter.
There we go.
I want you to note the blood spatter here. For a visual pattern like this, you'll want to use the digital camera. Then you can get the blood afterwards.
Get that.
Well, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, we got several thousand here telling us what went down. The Vic was hit at least twice. Pattern in her position relative to it tells us so. The first blow probably caused the puncture wound and sent her to the ground. The second blow, while she was down, created the blood spatter. Too pretty, too young, and way too dead. Pay close attention to the body. There could be evidence anywhere from head to toe. Whoa. With a rock like that left behind, I doubt we have a robbery. This was personal.
Just check the ring for any kind of evidence. I don't think we'll find any, but anyway. Nope. Oh, hold on, what's that? 'Tis a hare!
That's no human hair. It's too thick. Some kind of animal, maybe. The blood flowed from the head wound and naturally pooled around her. That suggests she bled to death right here.
Okay.
No wallet, cash, or ID. Could this be a glorified mugging?
Yeah, we've pretty much established that that's not the case.
Hey, maybe we just got lucky. That blood print says somebody's shoe picked up transfer. $60 large for an earthbound bird? If art theft was the motivation, why not take the other two birds as well?
There we go.
Nice catch. Whoever bagged our bird may have left that print.
Let's see here. I know there's some. Oh, I don't think I swabbed the wall, did I? There we go. Right. Let's talk to Mr.
This is
Nutcase
the
here.
Nathan Ackerman Fine Arts Studio, and I am Nathan Ackerman. My art? Displaying the creativity and, on occasion, the genius of my exhibitors, in a setting that is itself a work of art.
Do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Please do. Consider me your host and ally. Don't hesitate to ask if I can help you resolve this affair quickly and cleanly.
I'll see what we can do. But Mr. Ackerman, there's nothing clean about murder.
I was out briefly on an errand, and to my devastation, I discovered a client, Rachel Maddox, dead on my gallery floor. You must understand that this is a crushing blow. Rachel was an excellent client and a dear friend. I can't imagine who would do such a thing. Perhaps a vagrant or one of these psychopathic killers you read so much about? Rachel was about to be a bride. She had commissioned a painting and a sculpture, both of herself, for her wedding from one of my best artists. Unfortunately, he can also be one of my slowest artists, and Rachel and her fiancé were, well, let's say, fit to be tied that the art pieces, which were due some time ago, were not ready. I had an emergency overnight artwork delivery to ship. I needed to leave by 5 p.m., but Rachel was adamant we had to wait for the artist to come. I really shouldn't have left the two of them alone in the gallery, but they were respectable clients. Anyway, Rachel refused to leave. She said she was staying put just in case. I believe her words were, "Irresponsible ass of an artist does me the supreme favor of showing up." So that's how I came to leave the two of them here, and I had intended to be back before we closed at 6. As it was 6:10 before I returned and found the door wide open and Rachel in this terrible posture. As for her fiancé, he was nowhere to be seen. This is the most ghastly thing that has ever happened at the Nathan Ackerman Fine Arts Studio. What kind of mad beast are we dealing with here? Patrick Milton. Many of the works in this showroom are in fact his. He's not a critical darling, considered by some too commercial, but the public loves him, and as long as they do, so do I.
Patrick Milton.
Ah,
Okay.
that was the spark that lit the fuse of the argument between Rachel and Mark. The artist had vowed to be here with the finished painting and sculpture first thing this morning, but he didn't show up at all. Not the first time. And Rachel flew into a rage when he did not appear. Heavens, our association goes back years, almost a decade. Quite frankly, he's the star here. I've displayed and sold hundreds of his works. I could have sold more, but he misses so many deadlines. No matter how hard I tried to breed professionalism into his artist soul, I failed. Still, it does sell. Ridiculous as it might seem, no. I have never once, in all the years of our very successful association, even seen his studio. As I say, he's quirky. Private to the point of reclusiveness. Oh, but of course I have a phone number and a P.O. box. He wants his checks, after all.
That'll be enough to track him. Thanks, Mr. Ackerman.
Okay, so we've got that.
Her fiancé is one Mark Stock, a taciturn fellow with a physique worthy of a Greek sculpture and just about as talkative. Frankly, he has the personality of a doorstop and the artistic taste of a hillbilly. Forgive my candor. The man does have his admirers. He's an ex-baseball player of some kind, from the minor leagues, I believe. As I said, he was here with Rachel when I left, but when I returned, she was alone, undead. Yes, they were having an argument about the art, which was unusual as Mr. Stock had never expressed an opinion from the beginning. Now he was making a stand. He said it was foolish to make such a fuss, and the wedding could easily go on without these silly pieces. But Rachel wasn't having any of that. In Mr. Stock's words, he can sound rather shrill for such a strapping specimen of masculinity. He said Rachel had become unreasonable and out of control over the artist not showing up. And, well, honestly, he had a point. She did have that side to her. Understand, I was very fond of Rachel, but frankly, some of the invective she hurled was directed not just at her fiancé, but, if you can imagine, at me. Fortunately, a truce between the betrothed had come to pass before I had to leave. They were even, shall we say, affectionate. I felt comfortable enough leaving them alone. The storm had blown over, and they were like lovebirds again. To me, Mark Stock would be an enigma if he had a higher IQ. During their tiff, he seemed cold, emotionless. He's one of those passive-aggressive types who occasionally erupt, but in a strange, distant way, unleashing a torrent of abusive language, but delivering that invective in a controlled, cruel manner, seemingly devoid of any feeling. They visit Vegas frequently, weekend getaways, on which they invariably stop by my gallery to do business. Rachel did so love art. What was the question? No, I have no address. They flew in for their wedding, and I have no idea at which hotel, though it will certainly be one of the pricier ones. Oh, I can tell you it's a disaster. That's one of our most valuable pieces. Hawks are a specialty of Mr. Milton's, and that's a signature work. Any Milton collector would kill to... excuse me, that was an unfortunate burst of hyperbole, but I can say with no exaggeration at all that the perched predator is an expensive item indeed, and I'll be calling my insurance agent as soon as we're done here.
Do you have a photo of that missing statue?
Standard operating procedure in the art game. I'll be glad to get it for you, though I'd appreciate its eventual return. Insurance, you know.
So we have a photograph of the...
My fingerprints are all over this gallery, both literally and figuratively. As I said, I intend to cooperate fully. My life is an open book. Be my guest. No, I'm sorry, no.
What happened to full cooperation? Your life an open book?
My life is an open book, that I pledge to you. But I can't allow this door to be opened. I may seem inconsistent, but there are many expensive, even priceless objects dark back there, and I cannot risk damage. Particularly when I see no relevance to your investigation, since it's been locked throughout this entire unfortunate affair. I'm sorry, unless you have a warrant, I just can't allow you to
He's a
go
bit
flinging your
pretentious, isn't he?
fingerprint powder around and spritzing your various sprays.
Okay. So let's go and sort out this evidence quickly, and then we will go and talk to what's his name. And oh, hold on. That's not gonna work. We first have to get the.
Sure, I'll send a team right out. Blunt force trauma, back of the head. Wound's interesting, an irregular shape, somewhat triangular. It's the murder weapon's signature. Here's something you might find interesting. A small piece of foreign fibrous material. Definitely not skull.
Delightful.
The fragment I found appears similar in color to the photograph, so the bird's bill might be consistent with the wound. But without the real thing, it's just a guess. Well, based on the victim's liver temperature, dead less than 2 hours. Under ideal conditions, the body cools 2 degrees the first hour, then 1 degree after that. So we can put it around 5:30 p.m. Way ahead of you. Taking fingerprints off a victim's body is part of my routine. Here you are. Toxicology tests show high concentrations of diazepam, a benzodiazepine commonly prescribed for anxiety disorders. Well, it's not entirely unusual, but your prospective bride already had a honeymoon. Semen in the vaginal canal. No forced entry, presumably consensual sex. I've got a sample for you.
Okay, well that helps.
Of course. Glad to have your perspective.
Let's see what we've got here. It's a nasty injury, if ever I saw one. It's not really all that much there. Alright. Now we go to the lab and get this stuff processed. Let's start here. Nope, not that one. Close, but not quite. D. What's E look like? E is too thick.
Squirrel hair.
There we go.
Commonly used to make paintbrushes. Maybe we should find our reclusive artist.
Fingerprints. Need that. And this.
The prints on the pedestal are Ackerman's. It's no surprise. It's his gallery. Of course, he's still a suspect.
It's funny, in some of the, I think it's in some of the later games, you have to click on certain parts of each print to get a match, if I remember correctly. haven't played these games in a long time. Yeah. There, that, and that one, that matches.
This
Okay.
verifies Ackerman stepped in the victim's blood. Wall spatter matches the Vic's blood. It's a start. Links her to the crime scene.
Right. Okay. This tends to trip me up sometimes. Which one's this? This is A. No, it's not this one. That one. There. Gap is wider. That's too narrow. And those two are in the wrong positions, so it's not that one. Not that one either. Pretty obviously. Whew. Excuse me. Okay, so it's not that one. What about this one? No, not quite. Getting there. What the? One, two, three, 4 greens and a red. 4 greens and a red. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Okay.
So, Rachel and her fiance did kiss and make up tonight. Evidence of sperm shows Mark scored a home run. But look at this. He's got a record with a history of violence. So let's get brass on this bad boy.
Okay. What's that? That is... These are photos. I just want to see something.
Why wouldn't it be? I'm a hands-on gallery owner, and as it happens, I showed that very piece earlier today to a prospective buyer. Wasn't anyone else's fingerprint on there?
No, just you, Mr. Ackerman. But that doesn't prove you took your own statue. Just that you touched that pedestal.
Okay. Let's see.
So you think that hawk sculpture might be the murder weapon, huh? I'll get my boys to start searching for it immediately. Check back later. Even a self-proclaimed genius like Patrick Milton can't escape the electric company. And we got his address from their bill. Here you go.
Okay.
Our friendly neighborhood art dealer opened the gallery 12 years ago, and his record's clean. I found some online reviews saying Ackerman's an overcharging, tasteless fraud. But hey, that's no crime.
Unless he's actually committing fraud.
We've tracked every hotel and resort in Vegas. No small task. But we've got them registered at the Romanov, which is also where their wedding and reception was scheduled. Mark Stock's here to identify his fiancée's body. He says he's eager to help. So let's give him the chance.
Okay.
We know this is difficult, Mr. Stock. You have our condolences.
You don't have to pretend to feel anything. You didn't know Rachel. Who did this to her?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out, sir. Best we can tell, you were the last person to see her alive.
That's not true.
Then who was Mr. Stock?
Her killer, of course. Look, I was only with Rachel another maybe 15 minutes after Ackerman went off to mail a package or something. I had a previous engagement.
And what was that?
My bachelor party at Orgasma.
You mean the strip joint?
Yeah. You think a bachelor party's going down at a library or maybe a church basement?
Yeah, that's kind of a good point.
A guy I used to play ball with recommended him to me. Some favor. As far as I'm concerned, Ackerman's a pretentious sleazeball. His word's as good as the paper it isn't written on, if you get me. And this crap with him and this clown Milton. I don't remember when I was ever so frustrated.
Well, at least I'm not the only one who thought he was pretentious.
Listen, I loved Rachel. I worshipped that woman. But she had a temper like a rabid monkey, and when Ackerman and Milton started jerking us around over that work, man, Rachel went off like a bomb. When that girl got mad, whoa, she'd get in your face and your eyeballs and teeth would melt. She wanted her natural beauty preserved forever, displayed at the reception so her family and friends and the whole damn world could see her towering majesty. She insisted that damn artist would show up, and the owner was off on his errand. He left the keys with us in case he wasn't back by 6 so we could lock up for him.
He gave you the keys to the gallery?
Yeah,
Weird.
Rachel and me were supposed to lock up at 6. Ackerman headed out with his package, we had our little fling in back, and then, well, I had a bachelor party to go to. Oh, you know, just had our fun with some cheap champagne. I was supposed to meet the guys downtown at 6 before we headed for Orgasma and the Bash, so hell, must have been, what, 5:15? And I had to put pedal to the metal to make it on time, even so.
Okay.
I was a cocky kid, a college star who wound up in the minor leagues. I was too damn dumb to know I should just pay my dues like everybody else. And I made a lot of enemies, throwing my weight and my temper around. And I paid the price for it. That incident got me blacklisted from the league and ended any hope of a major league career. And it was my own damn fault, okay? And since then, hey, man, you're looking at a pacifist.
But maybe you had a relapse, snapped under all this wedding pressure.
After that bust, I started seeing a court-appointed shrink, and I am Mr. Chill now. Nothing gets to me, not even Rachel's temper. I look back on how I used to be, and man, I was not cool. I was a world-class ass. That's not me anymore. I loved Rach, and her family was going to set me up in a sporting goods shop that would have given me a whole new lease on life. You think I would have flushed that down the John like I did my baseball career over an argument about some damn artwork? No way, man. No way. I didn't kill her. I loved her. But there is one situation where I might lose it again. Might have, what'd you say? A relapse.
How's that?
When you catch this bastard, if I get my hands on him, no guarantees, man. No guarantees. Of course. We're on the same team, guys. Find who did this. Find him.
Okay. So, let's see. I say we start with the hotel room.
It's a nice pad. It's not what I expected, though. This girl spends thousands on artwork for the wedding, but she opts for the junior suite? People and their priorities.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, the European honeymoon of a lifetime. Not anymore.
I can't read that. It's too small. What's this?
Brass can track down this number for us. A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
There we go. Is it luminol? Yeah, there we go. That'll be, I think, the
That
invoice.
artwork was definitely due the day of the murder.
Okay. Okay. Let's go process this stuff. Blood from the shirt. And the victim's blood. Yes, it's a match. Not really a surprise, I suppose. Oh, come on. No, man. I wonder.
We've done all we can with that item.
Ah. That wasn't very bright to me, was it? Okay, so these are photos. It's a rap sheet. So now we just need to get this number.
That phone number was to a ticket theater broker. A clerk there remembers Rachel arguing with her about ticket prices.
Okay. We're just gonna go talk to the artist quickly, and then we're gonna go and talk to Ackerman again. It's funny, when I played this case again the other day, it was quite the nostalgia trip.
And if I am?
Las Vegas Crime Lab. Murder investigation. Are you Patrick Milton?
Yes, all right, yes. I'm Patrick Milton, but I don't know anything about a murder, you say?
Yes, sir. We have a few questions. You mind?
You better make yourself clear about how this supposedly involves me, because I'm on a deadline. I'm an artist on commission here, and I have a painting to finish, and I'm trying to grab a window of solitude while these damn construction workers are on break, whatever they're doing. My God, the noise lately here.
Another pretentious jackass.
What? Which commissioner? You don't mean Rachel? You don't mean Rachel Maddox, do you? It's not possible. There's no one on the planet more alive than Rachel. How How did it happen?
Blunt force trauma, Mr. Milton. The murder weapon may have been a statue, possibly one of yours. The perched predator is missing from the gallery.
My lord, no. The hours, the months that went into that? Was it stolen? Please tell me it wasn't destroyed. It's one of my most valuable works. Well, right here, of course. I mean, I practically live in this studio. The demands on me as an artist are unceasing. Haven't you talked to my patron, the esteemed Nathan Ackerman? He called me and tore me a new one, and I decided the best thing to do was to stay home and get this painting and sculpture completed before Rachel's wedding day. I've been bunkered in here slaving ever since. My intention was to deliver everything tomorrow, right before the wedding. I couldn't see wasting time dealing with Rachel. There was a lot to admire about her spirit, her intelligence, but she was frankly the worst-tempered woman I ever met. The most difficult client I ever encountered. I figured the less contact with her, the better. That's it, and it's going well. I'm almost done with it, but I guess there isn't any hurry now. Pity. Despite her ugly side, Rachel was a beautiful woman and a worthwhile subject. Well, it began cordially enough. She was a big admirer of my work, owned a number of my bird and animal sculptures. She approached me to do these special paintings to be displayed at her wedding reception. And I told her I rarely did the human form. I'm a nature artist, you see, and I have a knack for just slightly idealizing reality. Well, she did have her charming side, you know, and she said, well, I'm one of nature's best works of art. Are you up to capturing me? How could I turn her down? And the money wasn't bad either. And as I say, I would have delivered the painting and sculpture on time. Nick of time, but on time. Right at the reception ballroom. I'm almost done now.
Did you contact Rachel or Ackerman to tell them about this change of plans?
No. And before you condemn me as rude and egocentric, let me just say, you never had a deal with Rachel Maddox.
You are
You have no
egocentric.
idea the hoops she made me jump through. Sounds unkind now that she's dead, but really, I wanted to keep her waiting. Let her, no other way of saying this, suffer a little, like I had. Let her squirm and stew. But my lord, I would never wish anything like this upon her. In a word, rocky. She was a lovely girl, but rich and spoiled. At the beginning, she posed live for me. She was so demanding. Kept leaving her modeling pedestal to see what I was doing. Literally look over my shoulder. Oh hell, that was just maddening. Finally, I just banished her from my studio. I'd already taken photographs of her, in the desired pose, and these were sufficient reference. And photos don't talk back, nag, or interfere with the artistic process in any way.
Okay,
I live and work alone. But you already know I had no reason to leave until this artwork was finished. Haven't you been listening? Well, from my point of view, it was entirely unprofessional and even hostile. I deserve better from someone I worked with for so long. You have no concept how much money I've made for Nathan Ackerman. But at least I didn't get caught up in a screaming match. I let the answering machine get it. He wanted me to drop everything and get over to the gallery. It was pretty clear from how frazzled he sounded. He had his own generous serving of Rachel Maddox at her worst.
So you're telling me you didn't drop by to set Ackerman and your client straight?
Hell no. Nathan I could handle. But as overworked as I am, dealing directly with Rachel Maddox, I didn't need that grief. Well, frankly, my intention was to avoid seeing her at all. She'd be at the wedding, and I'd be at the reception ballroom dropping off the art. Call me a coward, but you people never saw Rachel in full flaming bitch mode. I guess you can take it.
okay, so that's that piece.
Actually, yes. The Maddox Stocks wedding commission is only part of what I have on my plate. And I've been battling headaches and back problems, what with all this horrendous construction racket going on, starting at 7 a.m., including weekends. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to concentrate? I usually use red sable, but I probably have a few squirrel brushes, yeah.
The victim's clothing revealed a paintbrush hair.
And you consider that unusual in an art gallery? Do you have any
yes.
idea how many artists work in this town? Hundreds. And you'll find thousands of squirrel hair brushes. Good luck to you. Look, I'll cooperate. I know you have a job to do. But understand that I have a job to do myself. Take what you want, and then please leave me to my work to myself. Art doesn't happen. It's a struggle, and I need my solitude. And it may seem callous, but I consider finishing my artwork a higher priority than finding whoever killed Rachel Maddox. Dig into her life, and you'll find as many people not sorry to see her dead as you will scroll hair brushes.
Alright. Okay, wait, hold on. Just gonna take a quick look here, and then we just go.
Message received, 3:30 p.m.
Patrick, are you there? I know you're there. Pick up. Damn it, Patrick. This unprofessionalism has to cease. Get down here with that painting and statue ASAP. And if they're not done, you come deal with Rachel Maddox. She's climbing the walls, not to mention my ass. Take half an hour and put some finishing touches on and bring that blasted art. I need her final payment today to cover up well, damages. Get down here. This week she's finding new depths of unpleasantness and we have to calm her down. Somehow. Patrick, if you're not here within the hour, my next call will be to my attorney to instruct him to sue your egotistical irresponsible ass. Understood?
Wow. Doesn't sound much like the host and ally we know. Sounds like Ackerman was on the edge.
Yep. Boy, here we go. Let's go and have a word with him.
Yes. Why? Is that a problem?
Why did you leave this out of the report?
Oh, well, frankly, I forgot all about that.
There were no keys on her body.
Well, I took them, actually. They were my property, after all, and I didn't see how they could be important. Nothing sinister about it, just an oversight, my failing to mention it. Surely you can understand I'm a bit flustered after all of this. Yes, I'm sorry, of course.
Honestly, you should know better than to take evidence from a crime scene. Idiot.
Rachel's blood on the keys means they were near her when she was attacked. Could the killer have used them too?
I wouldn't call it a threat. Patrick was well aware we had a client who was high-strung, and that if that artwork was late, there would be hell to pay. Well, why should I pay it? You know that any business suffers occasional cash flow problems, but really, mentioning I might sue him was my way of lighting a fire under Patrick. He is a fussy perfectionist, and I know he could finish up that painting and even the sculpture by deadline if he just got on with it.
Okay. Let's have a quick look at the case file. We know that that's the...
Rachel's blood is on these keys. Ackerman must have taken them from the crime scene. But was it during or after the crime?
So... let's have a look here. Yeah. Okay. And then we've got that. Okay, let's see what we've got.
This paint is not common. It's probably a mix of multiple paints, which is why the database can't find a match.
Great. Just perfect.
So we got common variety squirrel paintbrush fibers. The two samples are consistent with each other, but not enough for a positive identification.
They look identical to me. Although I suppose if they come out of the same batch, then... I wonder if Robbins here has something to say.
I've got nothing new to report on the Vic.
Nope. Well, what's the progress with the...
Once you've got enough evidence, I'll hit up a judge.
Really? Okay.
Suppose there's no way of avoiding this. Why I should want to protect that son of a bitch Ackerman, I'll never know. Call it misguided loyalty, but anyway, financial problems is an understatement. He owes me thousands, and over these past 6 months or so, he's come up with some, shall we say, unconventional ways of reimbursing me when cash wasn't handy. Well, he offered me his second car, a big screen television from his former rec room, any number of nice, but honestly secondhand items. I took a few of these offers just to help out, but Nathan's still into me for, well, let's just say the notion of him suing me is amusing. I know he often accepts cash payments from clients, for reasons you could probably guess, detectives that you are. If not, ask the IRS. Sometimes he's had enough cash in that safe of his to paper those gallery walls.
What safe are you talking about?
Oh, it's in his back office / stock room. Keeps documents, sales records, and so on in there, I believe.
Well, with cash in that safe, maybe you broke in to claim it was yours, and Rachel Maddox just happened to be there, after hours. The very person you wanted to avoid.
Ridiculous! That's slander!
So sue me.
You really shouldn't say sue me to anybody. Just know I will sue you.
Once you've got enough evidence,
Oh, you
I'll
know
hit
what?
up a judge.
I think I missed something here. Let's go back to the lab real quick. Keys. Yeah, I missed a fingerprint. That was dumb. Come on. Ah, there we go. Now, is it... whose print is it? That's what I want to know. Ah! Well, it's not Ackerman's prints.
This key has Rachel's print on it, so it's possible she opened that locked office before she died. I wonder if our Hawk statue took flight back there.
pretty sure. Let's just see something.
We've done all we can with that item.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else that we can do with this stuff. So... And come on.
Once you've got enough evidence,
Oh, come on.
I'll hit up
what
a
have I
judge.
missed? These are photos. What am I supposed to do with them? Keys. Shirt, which is, you know, we've already dealt with. Oh, you nitwit. Oh man, how could you be so stupid?
That should go on the trace analysis computer. That should go on the trace analysis computer.
Shoe prints and tire treads. There we go. I think. There we go. I don't know how I missed that.
Okay. Looks like our Vic may have had access to the back office, and it's possible we may find our murder weapon back there. That's enough to get a search warrant.
Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, Dark Motives, you could actually open the toolbox as well.
Something tells me this isn't baby powder. Let's run a narcotics test on it.
Yep. Okay. Okay. What's this? Okay.
A paper shredder. Look like he's got a fresh crop.
Okay.
The safe is locked. Since it's too small to hold a murder weapon, our search warrant doesn't let us unlock it. We'll need a different warrant to get in here.
That's fine.
It's possible our blunt force bird didn't fly far from the coop after all. Let's see what Robbins has to say about this.
Okay. That's our first stop, I think.
At first I thought it might, but the eagle's bill is much larger than whatever caused the actual puncture wound. This is definitely not the murder weapon.
Great. Okay. Okay, let's see.
Well, looks like the prospective bride and groom had their prelim honeymoon on this desk.
Why? Why the desk? That's what I want to know.
Methamphetamine powder, aka speed, crank, chalk, or rose by any other name. Meth interferes with the brain's neurotransmitters. It affects the brain and spinal cord. They used to use it for diet pills and nasal decongestants, but today it puts the wreck in recreational drug.
The sort of scientific like reenactment stuff is amusing and disturbing at the same time. So let's see, what have we got? We've got and then this one. Nope, doesn't go in there. Okay.
So,
There we
the
go.
cooperative Mr. Ackerman is holding out again. He'd been hit by a nasty lawsuit by the Vic. Maybe he pretended to mail his package, but instead waited for Mark to leave and went back into service as client, stepping in the blood when he took his keys back.
Okay, so first I want to talk to this.
We have a hostile
Mark
person who
again.
claims he wasn't there, but he has the Vic's blood on him. Let's talk.
I had her blood on my clothes plenty of times. Rachel had rhinoplasty a few years ago. Since then, she's had trouble with nosebleeds. She had one just before we went to the gallery. I noticed it. I changed my shirt before we left.
Okay, that's reasonable.
All right. After our cool down in the back room, we got into another argument. She started all romantic and sweet, then surprised me with these theater tickets to the most expensive show in town, a Canadian chick who sings real high and all, but I told Rachel I couldn't blow off my buddies who've been planning this big bachelor party for me. She was so pissed. What do you want to see naked women for when you have me? I said, Rach, it's not a sex thing, it's a guy thing. I gotta spend my last night of freedom with them. That set her off again, but I wasn't having any. I just stormed out of there.
Stormed out? Oh, I thought you kept your cool these days.
I did keep my cool. That's how I kept it, by just walking away. What I hate is that it ended like that we parted on that nasty note.
Stormed out? Oh, I thought you kept your cool these days.
Sure, sort of. I was on the highway, busting ass getting to my pals waiting for me downtown, so I can't prove it, but they'll verify when I showed up.
Okay, fair enough.
How did you know that?
We found evidence of your semen inside of her.
Oh, Rachel had a predictable habit. Whenever she got really mad, she wanted to work it off. The fact that Ackerman left us alone, it just made things happen faster. It was the one thing that made her temper bearable. The makeup sex.
Mr. Stock, for a guy who suffered a blow like this, frankly, you seem kind of, clinical about your late fiancé.
I'll do my grieving my own way, pal. But I'm sure you'll find out about this anyway. I was on the verge of calling it off. The whole shooting match. Relationship, wedding, whole deal. Great sex is not enough for all this stress. Rachel was turning into an out-of-control, unreasonable nutcase of self-involved vanity. But I still loved her. No, I don't do that crap. Neither did Rachel. She had a lot of vices, but not that junk.
Okay. So let's go to Robin's real quick. Ah, wrong button.
The victim does have a blood clot in the nasal cavity and several patches of dried blood. Yes, I would say she recently had a bloody nose and no sign of trauma causing it.
Okay, so that part checks out.
You're in luck. One of our Hawkeye detectives found your turkey in a dumpster by the gallery. It's got a broken beak and a few other surprises. Give it a close look.
Ah.
Hey, Warwick. I could use an update on the art gallery homicide.
Sure. First, our new CSI is all over this thing. We've already got time of death and the murder weapon.
Not bad for your first night.
Yeah, well, let's not break our hand patting our back. We got miles to go before we sleep. Plenty of leads, but no firm suspects. Any ideas, Kath?
Sometimes the evidence we collect has more evidence on it. I suggest you give all your evidence another hard look. Murder weapon, especially. May find something key toward completing your trinity.
Okay, rookie. You heard the boss. Let's go back to square one with fresh eyes. Try something else, similar.
Come on. Ah, there we go.
So, the perched predator had a feast for his last supper. Let's test the blood to see what type of mammal was on the menu.
And then there's a bit of,
Who's to say where this substance came from, since our murder weapon was found in that damn dumpster? Collect it, though. You never know. Till you know.
So let's start with that. There we go.
Bingo. That custom paint from Patrick's brushes matches the paint on the murder weapon.
Not that that really means much. Unless I'm mistaken. Come on. We pretty much know all the blood here.
Well, the blood on the beak is Rachel's, and the beak fits the wound, so we have our murder weapon. But who killed her?
Okay. Now, first off, I want to talk to this Ackerman guy because... well, I need to see what's in his
Seeking
safe
evidence
first.
of the gallery owner's financial woes, which makes a good motive for murder. I know a judge I can call to open that safe.
Ah, come on.
What's this? Another controlled substance? Look, I'm no longer a betting man, but if I was...
Oy vey. Looks more like tablets than powder, but anyway.
Bank records. If Ackerman's got money trouble, they should tell us.
Right. Now we process the new stuff. Question is that bag of powder gonna be... probably be under... yeah, there it is.
Well, well. These samples are the same stash as the other stuff we found. Maybe art isn't all that Mr. Ackerman's dealing.
How's it going?
Close, Kath. Real close. Rookie's done good so far. We just found more meth at the gallery.
That doesn't fit what Doc Robbins says about the Vic's tox screen. Negative on meth in her system, so it wasn't meth-infused rage, no matter what you found.
Good to know. Okay, Rook. Let's see how somebody just saying yes to drugs figures in.
There you go.
Our gallery guy's busted flatter than a stretched canvas.
Okay, let's see, what have we got?
He's on his way to interrogation now.
The Nathan Ackerman Fine Art Studio has thrived over the past 12 years I've been in business, and we've never been more vital. I'm even expanding my staff. The suggestion that we are anything other than financially sound is an insult.
Well, let me add some injury to that insult. This shredded document says Rachel Maddox was suing you for a breach of contract.
Perhaps I should have mentioned that. But really, such minor disagreements are common in the business of this nature. All I can think of is that many of my clients are wealthy, and I'm dealing with artists constantly, and those are two classes of people who are known to use recreational drugs. Someone apparently used them in my back office without my knowledge.
Even though you keep it locked?
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, it's a violation of my trust. I'd be lying if I said that those two weren't capable of such tasteless shenanigans, but it obviously didn't take place in my presence.
No, just in your gallery, in your back office. Is there anything else you neglected to mention?
Insults upon insult. I cooperate fully, and this is what I get. But it might be possible that Rachel and Mark brought that meth into my space. After all, if they were capable of semi-public fornication, what weren't they capable of?
Good point. Only we found drugs in your safe.
Maybe they found some way to get past the lock, and planted those drugs in there to cause me difficulties. Rachel was suing me after
really?
all.
I'm afraid not. Toxicology on Rachel came up negative for meth.
No, I'm getting back on my feet. It's a phase in the life of a successful business. Yes, I've stared bankruptcy in its foul face,
This guy really
not
just
because of
doesn't know
any
which to put,
malfeasance
does he?
or incompetence on my part. It's the unreliable likes of these artists, and Patrick Milton is the poster child of these irresponsible flakes. And since I am indeed filing Chapter 11, the threat of a lawsuit means nothing.
Maybe so, but that stash of meth means something. Like you're dealing, maybe?
I keep hearing you want to cooperate, Mr. Ackerman. That works better without lies.
I do not deal in drugs. That was a misguided effort on my part to buy a commodity that I could turn around and give to Patrick Milton in exchange for some of what I owed him, and make a sort of profit doing it. I had to keep him happy, because the money Rachel Maddox would pay for the wedding artwork would have gone a long way toward getting me out of this financial hole. Is that forthright enough for you?
But you didn't get art from Patrick, or money from Rachel. So you struck back at the both of them and grabbed that statue, killing two stones with one bird.
I killed no one. I mailed a package.
If you did, it wasn't at your regular shipping service, because nobody there remembers seeing you. We've even checked their surveillance tapes, and you aren't starring in them. You don't even make a cameo appearance.
I do have an alibi. I really do. But it's rather embarrassing. You see, I was with my dreadful term, bookie. Here I am, a long-time Vegas resident, and I make the same mistake as the stupid tourist. I tried to get ahead by betting, and what money I did have, I lost. As you probably already know, I am financially ruined, finished. But I've said I'd cooperate, and I will. Here's the number to call to confirm.
John Smith. Okay.
Ackerman's alibi checks. He was with his bookie, all right. But we got him on ice for holding and possibly dealing.
Let's go.
We've got some good evidence on Patrick. I can call a judge and get a search warrant to cover anything with paint on it. Is that wide enough of a brush for you?
That's outrageous. There's nothing here that has anything to do with your stupid investigation. You're violating my sanctuary.
Well, you're violating this warrant. Move. So this is the famous painting in progress.
Yeah, take the whole painting. Good grief.
Blue paint. But is it the blue paint? Now here's the statue our artist friend was finishing up the night before the wedding. The Vic had an ego, all right. I don't see any paint on her, though.
I don't have anything else to say to you people.
A suspicious bag of powder. Now this paints a whole new picture, doesn't it?
Well, we already know Ackerman was providing the drugs to him, so not really.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there. Killer tickets for the hottest show in town, night of the murder. Boy, you're lucky when you land these.
Well, a friend of mine gave them to me. I took him to be nice. Didn't really have any interest in that commercial stupidity.
So it must be some friend to give you such expensive tickets. And you must be pretty well off to toss something you could resell for a couple $100. So who's the friend?
I don't remember. A guy I talked to at the corner restaurant, I think.
We'll see about that.
Boy. Yeah, take tickets from random people. That's... paint from the painting.
Paint from the art studio matches the murder weapon. Maybe Patrick tried to deliver that painting after all. He grabbed his own artwork and swung it hard. We've done all we can with that item.
I wasn't trying to get that, I was trying to get the other thing. That.
This matches the same batch of meth from Ackerman, so it appears they have a distinct relationship, and it's not legal.
Okay, so do we have anything among documents that need to be... Trace, I think we're...
There's more to be done with that item before we can process it.
Oh, you dummy. Did it again.
You'll want a different tool for that.
Ah. There.
Someday our prince will come, and this is it. Let's get this over to the lab.
We're in the lab.
The print matches Rachel. Patrick Milton, having them in his possession, ties him directly to her.
No, really?
You could serve about 12 warrants on this bozo. He's coming down to the station now. And if he can talk his way out of this, he's a real artist.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds about right.
You know no such thing. She was a client, and a rich one. She was a pain in the ass, sure, but I wouldn't kill the goose providing the golden eggs. Do I look that stupid?
The evidence says you do.
So I think you went down there to deliver the unfinished painting. Maybe you tried to pass it off as an artistic statement, but Rachel was having none of it. You see, the meth increased your normal rage, so you grabbed the nearest heavy object, ironically signing the murder with your own work. But the painting is oil-based, and it transferred blue paint to the Hawk. So you ditched the Hawk in a dumpster, but you kept the damaged painting, so it could support your story that you were still working while Rachel was being killed.
Yep.
And as for the wallet, you grabbed the cash and you dumped it. The tickets, I'm sure, were hidden in the cash, and when you noticed them, you tore them up. But you had no idea Rachel's fingerprints remained.
Do you have any idea, any notion at all of what it's like to be an artist, a true artist, and have to put up with the capitalistic needs of that pompous ass Ackerman reading me the riot act over the phone, that fool? He was the one who made me mad, really. Truly got my negative energies flowing. But when I came around to deliver that damn painting, who was waiting? All by herself. The lovely subject of my painting. And the painting, you've seen it yourself, it's a masterpiece. It can still use some finishing touches.
Only you gave the model, not the painting, the finishing touches, didn't you, Patrick?
The woman was a 14-karat bitch. She had the nerve to attack my painting, to criticize me. Face too bright, hair too dark, dress draped improperly, proportions all wrong. God, if I only had the courage to depict the inner her, the demon behind that beautiful face. She's lucky I didn't. She's lucky.
Well,
He
she's
really
also
is an
dead.
egotist.
She was your boss, Patrick. Night before her wedding, she had to chase you around for the artwork she commissioned. Ever think maybe she had a point?
Easy for you. Easy for you. You weren't there. You weren't the brunt of her verbal blows.
Yeah, but she was the brunt of your literal blows.
Fine. I did it. I rid the world of a monster, a shrill, unrelenting witch. I did her the favor of making her beauty live forever through my art, and the world a favor by ridding it of her inner ugliness. Satisfied? And now I'm tired. I need rest. I need peace. Some quiet. Time to contemplate and time alone to create my art. Thank you.
Well, you'll have plenty of time alone from here on out.
That was a fine first lesson in the art of crime scene investigation. Without the evidence you and Warwick uncovered, that was a masterpiece of murder that might have gone unsolved. Good job. Before we get back out into the field, let me review your case and give you your evaluation.
You investigated every possible angle on this case. Doesn't happen often, but I'm very impressed.
Where are you looking, dude? Alright, so that was our first case. Pictures at an execution. There are 5 cases to each game, so we're looking at I don't know. I'll have to see which ones I can get to run. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed kind of revisiting an old favorite. And I'll see you for the next one, which will be first-person shooter. Thanks for tuning in.